Hi everyone. So I just want to clarify a couple of questions from the review sheets, and I cannot do a video of all of them, so I'm picking what I think are most important right now. This was question number 22 from Monday night's homework, and I think I told you the answer was 8, but actually the answer is 10, and that would be a thank you to Sophia and to Ella for that. They caught a mistake. So here's the thing. They're telling you that this side is parallel to this side. These two triangles are similar to each other. How do I know that? Because I have vertical angles are equal over here. And if these lines are parallel, then I have a Z shape like that, which means that I have alternate interior angles. And if two angles of one triangle are equal to two angles of another triangle, then the two triangles are similar. So here's the thing. This purple angle over here goes with this purple angle over here. So in order to find out what the corresponding sides are, if I was to just flip this top triangle down so the vertical angles stay together, you can see that angle R is going to go here to angle S. But we know that can't be right because it has to go over here with angle T. So we're not just going to flip it over. We actually need to rotate it around this way. So we're going to go all the way around until this purple angle over here matches up with this purple angle over there. So when the whole thing flips around, this side over here, 5, is going to match up with this side over here, X. Okay, so the proportion should be 6 over 12 equals 5 over X. That gives you 6X equals 60, so X equals 10, and that was choice 3. Okay, this was number 30 from the packet from Monday night. So for this one, here's the important part that we forgot to look at. If we were going to dilate this around the origin, then and we're dilating by 1/2, by the way, according to this question, then we would just have to divide each coordinate by 2. So for example, A, which is 2, 8, A prime would become 1, 4. That was if you were dilating it around the origin. However, if you read the question carefully, which most of us did not do, including myself, it says that this is being centered at point A. Now point A is over here. So that means that your next triangle that we're making a smaller triangle, is going to be located inside this triangle because A has to match up with A. So actually A prime is going to stay right there at that spot 2, 8. Okay, so now we have to figure out where C prime is going to go. So right now, C is at 8, 8. So originally, for the original picture, it went from A to C, this line over here. And that's a distance going from x equals 2 to x equals 8. So that's a length of 6. If we're dilating it by 1/2, we don't want it to be a length of 6 anymore. We want it to be half of that. So that would be a length of 3. So that means it's going to go right here, and that's going to be your C prime. And sorry for all this noise. That's my dog stealing something out of the other room. So C prime is going to be located in the middle between 2 and 8. And between 2 and 8, the middle would be 3. So that's going to be the point 3, 8. And then we have to look at, I'll do a different color. I'll do blue. Okay, so now we have to look at B. So to go from A to B, originally it was going from A up here is at 8, and we want it to be, and B is at 4. So the midpoint between 8 and 4 is going to be 6. So I know my Y is going to be 6. And then I'm going to look at my X's, and I have a 2 and a 4, and the middle of 2 and 4 is 3. So really, this is just the midpoint formula. So it's the point 3, 6, which would be somewhere around, let me get my other color, somewhere around here, and that would be my B prime. And then this is my new triangle. And you can see it looks just like the other triangle, it's just half of its size. Okay? Okay, and this question was from Friday night's homework. This is page 281, number 36. This is really for my period 1 class, but I'm sure you'll all get something out of it. So we got stuck period 1 and ran out of time, so I'm going to go over this. So we have this triangle. They gave us all the points to plot this, and the first thing you had to do was to show that it's a right triangle. So the way we would show a right triangle is to show there's a right angle. The way to show there's a right angle is to show that two lines are perpendicular. And the way to show two lines are perpendicular is to show that their slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. So if you find the slope from T to S, you can do that by counting up and over, or you can use the slope formula. And in any case, no matter how you do it, you're going to get negative 5 over 3 for the slope. And then if you do the slope going from T to R, again, count up and over or use the slope formula. It doesn't matter which way you want to do it. So why don't we do the slope formula just for practice? So we're going to use these points T and R. So it's going to be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus a minus x1. This gives us a negative 7 over 11. Okay, and then we need one more slope. And that will be from S over here to R over here, and that slope is 3/5. So if you compare the two slopes, negative 5/3 and 3/5, those are negative reciprocals of each other. That means that this must be perpendicular, and therefore it's a right triangle. Okay, now there's a second part to this, and I'm just going to erase some of this to clean it up a little bit. And I'll get a different color. Okay, the next thing you had to do was to say, if this was going to be a rectangle, where would you put your fourth point? So by looking at it, you can see that it's going to have to be like somewhere over here. And how will we know exactly where? So the easiest way really to think about this is if it's a rectangle, then that means opposite sides have to be parallel. So I'm going to want this side to be parallel to this side. So if two lines are parallel, they have the same slope. So the slope of line SR is 3/5. So that means the slope of this new purple line over here must also be 3/5. So if I'm starting right here, my y value is 6, and I need to go up 3. So that means I'm going to go up to 9. So my y value is going to be 9. And then I need to move over by 5 for my x. So if my x was negative 5 and I move over 5, I'm going to end up at 0. So that would be my point 0, 9. And now here's my beautiful rectangle. Well, at this point, all I really know is it's a parallelogram. But it's a rectangle because we said before there's a right angle over here, and a parallelogram with a right angle would be a rectangle. And if you were to just find the slope of this black line over here, we would have this point negative 5, 6, and we have the point 0, 9, and using the slope formula, we have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and this gives us 3/5. And that means that this right here is a right angle because you can see that these are negative reciprocals of each other. Okay, sorry, and I just realized that then there's a mistake here with this slope. Let's just fix that up real fast. Get another color. How about orange? Okay, so the slope of this line from 0, 9 to 6, negative 1, so 0, 9. And 6, negative 1. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 gives us negative 10 over 6, which is the same thing as negative, that you can divide them both by 2. 5 over 3. I don't know what my mistake was before. So you can see that the negative 5/3 is the negative reciprocal of that, so you also have a right angle there. Okay, and finally there was one more problem, and this was page 322, number 22. Just kind of quickly, we got a picture that looks like this. Here was your picture. And you needed to prove that this was a trapezoid, and the way you would do that is to find the slopes. So the slope of this side was 2/3. The slope of this side was negative 1/5. This one was negative 3 over 2, and this one was 2/3. So this side has 2/3 and this side has 2/3. That means these are parallel sides. And these are completely different, which means that the other two sides are not parallel sides. So if you have exactly one pair of parallel sides, then it's a trapezoid. Okay, so I hope that this was helpful.